You are 47 years old. You are standing in the produce aisle of a grocery store, 40 minutes from your house. Your phone vibrates, a Manhattan area code. A woman named Evelyn at Forbes wants to verify net worth figures for the 2026 billionaire list. She asks if 184 billion is accurate. You put the peaches back. You walk out without paying for the basket. You sit in your car for 6 full minutes before turning the key. Nobody in your family has ever been on that list. Nobody in your family has ever heard of that list. That is about to change. Level 1, the proof, age 19. You are 19 years old. You work at a dishwashing station behind a Filipino restaurant in Queens called Lola's. The sink is too low for you. Your back aches by 11 p.m. You make $11 an hour. Your manager, Priya, lets you take home leftovers. Your father works construction in New Jersey. Your mother cleans houses in Manhattan. They arrived in 1993 with 340 and 2 suitcases. You know the exact number because your mother reminds you every Sunday dinner. She does not mean it as a flex. She means it as a weight. Your family does not talk about money. They move money. They live inside money the way fish live inside water. Always aware of it, never above it. One Thursday night at the dish sink, you think about the restaurant. 84 tables turn over twice on a Friday. Average check 47, food cost 28%, labor cost 33%, net margin perhaps 12%. You run the numbers in your head because there is nothing else to think about while a high-pressure hose cleans plates. You realize you know exactly how a restaurant makes money. You have been studying a business model without knowing it was a business model. You start writing things in a notebook. Not ideas, observations. Which delivery driver shows up at what time? Which vendor gives the best produce margins? Which ordering pattern maximizes turnover? You do not tell anyone. Your coworker Daniel thinks you are studying for school. At level 1, nobody in your family knows you are already counting. You save 140 over 7 months. You do not spend any of it. You know exactly what the first dollar is for. You just have not figured out the shape yet. Level 2, the start, age 24. You are 24 years old. You run a small digital agency out of a basement in Astoria. 3 clients, $6,800 a month in revenue. You built the first website for free to prove the concept. The second one brought you the third. The third brought you the fourth. You do not cold call. You have never written a cold email in your life. Your mother is still cleaning houses. You have stopped trying to convince her to stop. You send her $800 a month. She does not spend any of it. You learn 2 years later that she put every dollar into a savings account in your name. You cry in a parking lot for 14 minutes when you find out. You hire your first employee. Her name is Lena. She is 26. She is better at project management than you will ever be. You pay her $52,000 a year and a small equity grant. That will matter someday for reasons neither of you fully understand yet. Your friend Marcus from high school asks what you're doing. You tell him, he says it sounds small. You say it is. He does not invest when you offer him 5% for $15,000. He will remember this exact conversation 14 years later. Revenue hits $18,400 a month by year end. You reinvest everything. You do not buy a car. You do not upgrade the basement. You sleep on a mattress on the floor that you bought for $180 on Facebook Marketplace. At level 2, the only question is not what you do. It is what you refuse to do with the first profit. You turn down a $40,000 cash client because they asked you to do something that would have cost you Lena. That decision will pay you $280 million 14 years from now. You do not know that yet. Level 3, the velocity, age 28. You are 28 years old. The agency is no longer an agency. It is a platform. You built a software tool that automates the most boring 60% of the work you used to do for clients. You licensed the tool to 12 competitors first. Then you stopped licensing and started charging for it directly. Monthly recurring revenue, $184,000. Team of 14. An office in Soho with exposed brick. And no conference room because you hate conference rooms. A venture capital firm named Theo Partners reaches out. You take the meeting because you are curious, not because you need the money. The partner you meet with is named Theo himself. He wants to invest $4 million at a $24 million valuation. You tell him you will think about it. You take a walk that evening along the East River. You think about your mother's savings account. You think about Daniel the dishwasher. You think about the 12 hours a day you worked for 6 years to arrive at a moment where someone wanted to give you $4 million for 16% of something you built. You do not take the deal. You tell Theo later that week in a phone call. He asks why. You say because the number means you own the last ceiling you ever have to negotiate. He does not understand the sentence. You do not try to explain it. Your wife, Priya, the name is a coincidence. This is a different Priya, is a pediatric oncologist. She works 2 shifts on Saturdays. You cook dinner 3 times a week and leave it in the fridge. At level 3, velocity is not speed. Velocity is the discipline to decline acceleration at the wrong moment. You close the year at 3.1 million in ARR. You are profitable. You do not need anyone. Level 4, the first outsiders, age 32. You are 32 years old. Annual recurring revenue $21 million, 94 employees. You finally raised capital, $40 million Series B, led by a firm that is not Theo Partners, but is in the same class. Theo himself congratulates you by email. You reply in 3 sentences. The board has 5 seats. You control 3. That will matter later. Your first board meeting lasts 4.5 hours. A partner from the lead firm named Kenji has opinions about your go-to-market strategy. He is sometimes right. He is occasionally wrong. You learn the skill that defines the next decade. How to listen to someone who is 60% correct without letting them convince you they are 100% correct. Your mother finally stops cleaning houses. She does not want to. You do not push. You visit her on a Sunday and show her a spreadsheet on a laptop. She looks at the numbers. She does not ask questions. She says, "Okay, mijo." She asks if you are eating. You tell her you are. She says she will make you adobo on Tuesday anyway. You drive home that night with the Tupperware on the passenger seat, and you do not play music for the entire 90 minutes. You hire your first chief of staff. Her name is Evelyn. She is 30. She becomes the most important hire of your career because she tells you no when nobody else will. She will stay for 11 years. At level 4, you stop running the company and start running the company's runners. You cross 100 million in valuation on paper on a Tuesday in November. You do not celebrate. You email Lena, who is now your VP of engineering, and ask her to stay late because there is a server issue. She does. You order pizza, you eat 3 slices. You go home at 1 a.m. Level 5, the scale, age 37. You are 37 years old. The company employs 620 people across 3 countries. ARR has crossed $180 million. Your position on the cap table is worth, on paper, somewhere north of $340 million. You do not feel rich, you feel accountable. The family dynamic has begun to bend. Your cousin Daniel, you have 4 cousins named Daniel. This is the second one, calls you about a business idea. It is a bad idea. You tell him the truth. He stops calling. Your aunt tells your mother you have changed. Your mother does not defend you. Your mother also does not agree. You and your mother have developed a silent language over the past 6 years that nobody else in the family speaks. You buy your parents a house in cash in a neighborhood they liked when they were younger. The house costs $840,000. You do not furnish it. You let them do that part themselves. Your father plants a small vegetable garden in the backyard. That becomes his entire retirement. You did not expect that. It is the thing you treasure most about the entire purchase. You meet with a wealth manager for the first time. His name is Raj. He manages $6 billion across 41 families. He spends the first meeting listening to you, not pitching. You hire him that same week. The company's Series C closes at a $1.2 billion valuation. On paper, you are a billionaire for approximately 6 hours. Before the lockup math takes your usable net worth back down to 7 figures in liquid assets. The headline number does not matter. What matters is that the concept of a billion now has a Thursday attached to it. At level 5, the paper number starts writing letters to the real number. You do not post about the round. You do not do a victory interview. You send Lena a single text. We did it. She replies with a check mark. Level 6, the paper billion, age 42. You are 42 years old. The company is private. Revenue has crossed $480 million. Your cap table position is valued on the latest round at $1.9 billion. That is a number that looks like a mistake on a napkin. You do not live like a billionaire. You live like someone who built something and would rather it keep running than show up in photographs. Your car is a 9-year-old Lexus. Your house is a 4-bedroom craftsman in a neighborhood where most of your neighbors do not know what you do, but the security has changed. Raj calls you on a Tuesday to discuss personal security. You resist at first. He is patient. He shows you the statistics. You agree to a 3-person rotation. They are discreet. You still hate it. Your daughter Anna is 8. She does not know the number. She does know that her father answers more calls than most fathers do. She has started asking you on Sundays to put the phone in a drawer. You started listening on a Sunday in April, and you have not broken the rule since. Your mother calls you on a Thursday night. She has read an article about you. The article used the word billionaire for the first time in print. She asks you if it is true. You tell her that technically yes, it is true on paper, but not the way the article makes it sound. She is quiet for a long time. Then she says, "Mijo, your father and I had $340 when we got off the plane." You do not say anything for 30 seconds. You say, "I know, Ma." She says, "You were always going to do this." You do not know if that is true. You hope it is. You do not argue. At level 6, the number stops describing you and starts inheriting from you. You donate $4 million quietly that year. You do not tell anyone. Raj handles the paperwork. Level 7, the real billion, age 47. You are 47 years old. Your company went public 18 months ago at a $4.1 billion valuation. After lockups and gradual sales under Rule 10b5-1 trading plans, Your liquid net worth is approximately $1.84 billion. Forbes just verified it. Evelyn, not your chief of staff, the Forbes reporter, hung up the phone 31 minutes ago. You drive home. You park in your driveway. You sit in the car for a long time before going inside. You think about the dish sink at Lola's. You think about the mattress on the floor in Astoria. You think about Theo Partners and the meeting you declined. You think about Marcus from high school, who did not invest $15,000, and who, last you heard, is doing fine running a small business in New Jersey. You think about your mother. Inside the house, your wife Priya is on a call with the hospital. She is 47, the same age as you. She still works 2 Saturday shifts a month because her patients are 8 years old and they do not care about Forbes lists. Anna is 13. She is doing algebra at the kitchen table. She looks up and says, "Dad, can you explain negative exponents?" You say yes. You sit down next to her. You explain negative exponents. 31 minutes ago, a reporter verified that you have $184 billion. Right now, you are trying to remember how to convert a fraction with a negative exponent into a reciprocal. The math is the same math you used at age 19. The context has changed completely. At level 7, the billion is not the achievement. The return to the kitchen table is the achievement. You help Anna finish the problem. She goes to her room to read. You pour a glass of water. You stand in your kitchen. Nobody in your family has ever been where you are. Nobody ever will need to again. Somewhere in Queens tonight, a 19-year-old is washing dishes behind a restaurant he does not own. His back hurts. His shift ends at 11:47 p.m. His mother cleans houses. His father works construction. They arrived in this country with less than $500 and 2 suitcases. He is writing in a notebook between orders. Not ideas, observations. He is counting. Nobody has told him he can build anything larger than what the people around him have built. Nobody has told him he can't either. He will figure out the answer, the way everyone at the beginning figures it out, slowly, one Thursday at a time. He will lose money before he makes it. He will decline a $4 million offer he does not understand yet. He will marry a woman who does not care what the number becomes. He will have a daughter who will teach him negative exponents on a Tuesday night 31 years from now. He does not know any of this yet. The dish sink runs, the notebook fills. The machine has already started.